My name is Jordan Reyes, and I'm 28 years old. 3 weeks ago, my mother told me I wasn't welcome at the family Christmas Eve dinner. Not because I had done anything wrong, not because I had hurt anyone, but because my presence, in her words, makes everyone uncomfortable. She said it gently, the way you'd tell someone they have food in their teeth. You know how your brother's fiancé gets nervous around you, Jordan. And your father's boss is coming. We just want everything to be smooth. I asked her what exactly about me was so uncomfortable. She paused. You don't know when to stop talking about your work. And you stare. People don't know how to act around you. That was the diagnosis. The same one I'd been hearing my whole life. Too intense.
Too direct.
Too different.
So I didn't go.
I stayed in my apartment in Brooklyn with a frozen pizza and my research notes spread across the coffee table. At exactly 12:01 a.m., my phone lit up with a call from my brother, Derek. He was panicking, not the fake kind. The kind where his voice was cracking and he couldn't get a full sentence out. Jordan, you need to come to the hospital. Mom collapsed. They're saying it's her heart. And Jordan, I need you to tell me what to do. I don't know what to do. I stood there in my kitchen, holding the phone, thinking about how 40 minutes earlier, my entire family had been laughing around a dinner table they'd specifically told me not to sit at. But I grabbed my coat anyway, because that's what you do when the people who hurt you still need you. Before we get into this, welcome to Midnight Drama Stories. If you've ever been the person everyone treats like a problem, drop a word in the comments. And subscribe if you want to hear where this story goes. Let me take you back to where all of this started. Growing up in the Reyes household in Queens, New York, there were two children, but only one fit the mold. My brother Derek was the golden child by default. He played varsity soccer, got decent grades without trying, and had a smile that made adults trust him immediately. He went to SUNY Albany, studied marketing, got a job at a mid-sized ad agency, and got engaged to a woman named Priya, who worked in PR. Perfect trajectory. No friction. I was the other one. Diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder at age 7. Not severe, but noticeable. I didn't make eye contact. I hyper-focused on specific subjects. I corrected people when they were wrong. I didn't laugh at jokes I didn't understand. My parents never said they were ashamed of me. They said they were concerned. But concern looked a lot like distance. They stopped bringing me to family gatherings after a certain age because it's easier for everyone. They told teachers I was just shy instead of asking for accommodations. They celebrated Derek's C+ in economics while ignoring that I had taught myself Python at 12. There's a specific kind of loneliness that comes from being tolerated instead of loved. It's quieter than rejection, but it cuts just as deep. Here's a small example. My 16th birthday. I asked if we could go to the Museum of Natural History. My mom said, "That's not really a party, Jordan. People want to have fun." So we had a small dinner at a restaurant. Derek brought his girlfriend. The conversation was about Derek's lacrosse game. No one asked what I was building on my computer. I spent the night in my room, coding. I wasn't angry. I was used to it. What I didn't know then was that the same brain they found uncomfortable would one day make me someone they couldn't ignore. Let me fast forward to 2 years ago. I was working as a data analyst for a logistics company, saving every penny. I had an idea. Not a startup. Not an app. A prediction algorithm. A tool that could analyze hospital emergency department data and predict patient inflow with 94% accuracy. Something that could save lives by helping hospitals allocate resources before the crisis hit. I built it alone.
Nights.
Weekends. Lunch breaks. I called it Trio AI. I told my family about it at Thanksgiving. Derek was there, newly engaged. My dad was carving the turkey. I explained the concept, the testing I'd done, the interest from a small research hospital in New Jersey. My mother looked at me the way she always did when I talked about my work. A tight smile. A quick glance at Derek. "That's nice, honey," she said. "But maybe don't talk about hospitals at the dinner table. It's a little heavy." Derek laughed. Classic Jordan. Always bringing the mood down. I stopped talking about it after that. But I kept building. Within a year, Trio AI was being tested at 3 hospitals. Within 18 months, we had a contract with a major health system in the Northeast. Within 2 years, we were in talks with the Department of Health. I didn't tell my family, not because I was hiding, because I had learned that sharing my wins with them felt like handing someone a trophy while they asked why you weren't holding it differently. Then came the call about Christmas Eve. My mother's voice on the phone. Jordan, we need to talk about the dinner. I already knew what was coming. Priya's parents are coming. And Dad's regional manager. It's a lot of people. And you know how you get when you're in a big group. You get intense. You talk about work. People don't know how to respond. I think it's better if you join us for brunch the next day instead.
I didn't argue.
I didn't explain that Tria AI had just been acquired by a national health conglomerate for $22 million. I didn't tell her that I had been invited to speak at a medical conference in Geneva. I didn't say that the thing she found uncomfortable was the exact same thing that had made me successful. I just said, "Okay, Mom." Because fighting for a seat at a table that doesn't want you is exhausting. And I had stopped being tired of them years ago. So on December 24th, I stayed home. I ordered Chinese food. I reviewed a contract. At 11:30 p.m., I got a text from Derek. "Mom's feeling dizzy. Probably nothing." At 11:47 p.m., "She's on the floor. We're calling 911. At 12:01 a.m., my phone rang. It was Derek, sobbing. "She's not waking up. They're putting her in an ambulance." "Jordan, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell them. They're asking about her medications." I don't know. I didn't hesitate.
Okay.
"Listen to me. Is she breathing?" "Yes."
Good.
"Is she on any blood thinners?" "I don't know. I think she takes something for her blood pressure." "What's the name?" "I don't know, Jordan." "Find the bottle. Go to the bathroom cabinet. Now." I heard him running, clattering. "I got it. Lisinopril." "Okay. Tell the paramedics that. Also tell them she had a dizzy spell and collapsed. No chest pain reported."
No.
"Good. That's good. I'm coming." I hung up, grabbed my coat, called a car. I spent the next 3 hours in the ER waiting room with my family. Derek couldn't stop pacing. My father sat in a chair, staring at the floor. Priya was on her phone, probably canceling their New Year's plans. When the doctor came out, he looked at me first. "Are you Jordan Reyes?" "Yes." "Your mother told us you're the one who developed the triage algorithm we use in this hospital. She mentioned it while she was coming out of anesthesia. She said, 'My son made that.'"
I didn't know what to say.
I looked at my father. He was staring at me like he'd never seen me before. The doctor continued. "She's stable. It was a transient ischemic attack. A mini stroke. She'll need monitoring, but she's going to be fine." Derek let out a breath. My father finally spoke. "She told them you made the algorithm?" "She was proud of you," the doctor said. Even through the confusion, that's what she wanted us to know. I didn't say anything, because I didn't know how to process that. The woman who had called me uncomfortable 3 weeks earlier had apparently been bragging about me to the paramedics while half-conscious. The next morning, my mother was awake. I walked into her room. She looked small against the pillows.
"Jordan."
"Hey, Mom. You saved me. The paramedics saved you. I just told Derek what to do."
No.
She shook her head. "You made that system. The one that flagged my symptoms before I even got to the hospital.
The nurse told me."
Your algorithm predicted the stroke risk from my last checkup." I sat down. "I didn't know you were using my system here. Your father and we didn't understand what you were building. We thought it was just another one of your projects. But it's real. You're real." I looked at her. "You told me I made people uncomfortable. I was wrong. You told me not to come to Christmas. I was wrong, Jordan." I let the silence sit. Then I said, "I'm not coming back to every dinner, Mom. But I'm here now. That's what I can give you." She nodded,
Crying.
"Thank you." I stayed for 2 hours. Then I went home. A week later, Derek called. Not panicking this time.
Quiet.
Hey. I wanted to say sorry." "For what?" "For making you the punchline. For never asking about your work. For letting Mom treat you like a burden." I didn't say it's fine. Because it wasn't. But I said, I appreciate that. Can we start over? I thought about it. The years of silence. The dinners I wasn't invited to. The laughter at my expense. Then I thought about the call at 12:01 a.m. The panic in his voice. The fact that in his worst moment he called me. We can try, I said. But it's going to take time. I have time. We hung up. I looked at my computer screen. TriAI was running simulations for next month's emergency department load. The algorithm was humming. Quiet. Efficient. Uncomfortable to some. But it worked. If you've ever been the person your family didn't know how to love, drop a light in the comments. And if you think Derek deserves a second chance, tell me why. My name is Jordan Reyes. I'm 28 years old. And I'm no longer waiting for them to see me. I'm just letting them catch up. This is Midnight Drama Stories.
See you next time.